And welcome back to Bolton Wanderers FC. We are here in the main arena. It's our third match today. Stevie Dempsey from Ireland taking on Darrell Whitworth. Stevie, of course, won our second pro title season at Wigan. Aaron Davis winning the first. We just saw Aaron Davis beat Chris Hampson to get his place booked into the next round. We've also seen Tom Cousins win this morning, the number one. And now it's the turn of the hammer. As our referee Richard Rhodes looks on, and Stevie very quickly takes the yellows. The only awkward ball he's got is tucked behind the red. Nice little shot from Dempsey. And now it's all open. He's fairly got a hold of that cue ball, but it's fine. Yeah, nice control there from Stevie. Had to be precise with this route because it's all about getting onto the 8 ball and just being behind it. Make it as easy as possible. So any slight fall out of position on these yellows and he wouldn't have been able to do it. But he's played this very nicely. Well, has it gone a little bit too far? He doesn't want to be coming into that railway, so push forward and then that red will then come into play. He did want to be completely straight on this so he could run it in. And there you see he's got a slight angle, so it has made it a bit more tricky. Played that nicely though. Hop and a bit of side. Gets himself over. And this black ball into the middle bag. And it's going to be the man from Ireland who draws first blood here in Bolton. And very nice start, just what he wanted for Stevie Dempsey. Looking nice and calm as he looks at the big screens around him in this amazing arena. Darrell Whitworth there, waiting patiently to get his hands on the cloth. And as you say, it's absolutely packed around this arena. See something like 87 matches going on at the moment. Just 87. There's lots of people turned up to watch, and all around the balconies up on the top there. There's a real buzz around the place. It's Richard Rhodes Very carefully racking the balls up. Now he's happy. Everything's touching. And Darrell Whitworth will break us off in frame 2. That's a great break there from Darrell. Wants to reply in kind for Mr. Dempsey breaking and finishing the opener. We're very pleased to be joined in the commentary box by Mr. Nick Finn. How are we, Nick?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Tony.
You were over on a YouTube channel with the McAvoy-Lambert match, weren't you, with Simon?
Yeah.
That was a long game.
It was, yeah. Over 2 hours. But a good game as well. It was interesting. There was some really good tactical exchanges in there as well.
That's not how you described it when you came out. No, it was a tough one to call, that. McAvoy having a great first year as a new professional. And talking of new professionals, Dazza Whitworth is one of them.
Yeah, Darrell with a lot of experience. Very, very good player. Really interested to see how this match pans out. As, obviously Stevie goes into it as a favourite. Good professional at the top of the game, but Darrell's a great stick.
Yeah, well, Dempsey, a serial Pro Tour winner. Already landed one this season. He would have liked to have added the Players' Championship to his collection, but he didn't quite get there. That was Declan Brennan, who we were saying earlier has now come up on the shoulders of Tom Cousins in the rankings. But Dempsey's right up there as well. So this is a big test for Darrell Whitworth.
Yeah, he needs to find a good angle here too. Looks just okay. I think he's through and doesn't need to get too far up the table. The 8 ball is just off the cushion, so he can get right up there. Lovely.
Good reply from Darrell.
Very nice. So, Tony, I'm opening myself up here to some kind of comical reply, but
really?
Did I just walk past one of your old muckers, one of your old sparring partners, Adisha? Is he here this weekend? I'm sure I just passed him walking in the door. Tommy Donlan.
He was at Wigan.
Was he?
Yeah. So he's playing on the Challenger Tier 1, I believe.
Oh, nice.
So
brilliant.
Yeah.
Great to see him.
Yeah. He's still an incredible player as well, I can assure you. Back in the day, here we go, the back in the day one-liners coming, but one of the greatest players I ever saw play the game, right up there at the top.
He kind of changed the game in some ways, didn't he? He was one of those first players who came in with that real flair and aggression and attacking.
When we were playing then, it was the really old rules where 2 shots carried, you didn't have to hit a cushion after contact. So the 90% of the players were very negative.
Yeah.
And Tommy came along, and that's what his nickname was, a dish. And just when people tapped the pack, I was the same basher. So it was just smash the balls all over the table because we'd had none of it.
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered to play any safety. My brain was not big enough to cope with it. So it's just pop balls. And Tommy was he was brilliant at it, picking off finishes from nowhere. But anyway, back to the main event.
Couldn't quite see if this yellow dropped into the bottom left pocket. It got a nudge from the red. Very important. Let's see if it's on the table. No, it is. It's over the pocket. So that will just change this frame. If that yellow drops in, and the yellows are messing him out there, so he can just play a loss of turn here. And
well, he could put the cue ball right behind the black as well if he gets this right. And he tried to.
Yeah.
Still nothing easy for Darrell, and he's got to go into these balls because you know he has to make contact with a cushion afterwards. So Stevie will be looking at this thinking he's got to hit that first yellow and knock his bad red out. And that's why Darrell is looking with a bit of concern. She certainly doesn't want to knock anything open for Stevie Dempsey. Well, I didn't realise he could get to those 2 yellows, so. Well, how's your form? Do you take on the cut into that top corner, play it as hard as you can possibly, hit a ball, smash into that yellow just above him, and kick all those balls out in the open?
Could he not play it as a controlled shot, just cannon into the yellow? Because the red does go, if he just holds the line where that yellow is, the red does pot into the, just play it. Oh, he just caught the yellow on the way through. He's
had to smash it. I wasn't saying it for effect. It's just if you get that, if you smash it in and make the pot, those balls are going to go in. Or if it was the old rules and you knocked a yellow in and it was a foul, no. But because knocking in your opponents, as long as you make that pot, you have to land on another red, surely. There's one over the bag down there. If you didn't, you've got to be unlucky. I think it's one of those few occasions where it's worth the risk.
Still a bit of a mess here for yellows. He would have loved to have not grazed that yellow, land below it, because he would have had an angle to come into the pack. He's still on that yellow, but he's coming away from his work.
All very sticky up there, Nick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you said, he's coming away from it. And again, he still has to make sure he contacts the cushion. At some point, he's going to push these balls apart. And Dempsey is ready to pounce. Doesn't want to come too far, because if he does, he leaves himself an angle. Well, he leaves, Stevie Dempsey an angle. He can pot that red in the top corner now. Low to right-hand side, just dig it shallow of the middle of the cue, but with right-hand side, if you can do that, he can push this red out. Has to have a go here, surely. You see, he digs down. He's missed a pot. Wow.
Twice now. And the red's gone.
He didn't make great contact with the pack that he's going into either. Cueing very close to that yellow, and I think it just, you see he pulled his cue into the air as he hit it.
That red couldn't have gone any worse. Looks like he's eyeing the 3-ball plan. Maybe to play to loss of turn, try and get the cue ball safe.
I think he just wants to stick one of those yellows out the way, or in the way. That's a great shot. Very good shot there from Darrell Whitworth. Blocks off the black ball. Dempsey's 2 reds not in a great position at the bottom of the table either.
Gets them both out here, I think. Tried to.
Yeah, he wanted to knock them out into the open and leave the cue ball stuck to the bottom rail as well, or as near as he possibly could.
Yeah, caught the red a lot thinner than he wanted. A real buzz around the arena now. Getting another ball in the mix. He wanted that just to land a little bit shorter there so he could use it to develop.
Yeah, he certainly didn't want to put it stuck.
No. Clever little shot, because it makes this awkward for Darrell. He looks a bit in off from this yellow. I think he can probably just avoid, but Oh, this is a big frame already, just the way it's been played. It's taken quite a bit of time off the clock as well.
Stevie doesn't want this in.
And it's in.
He wanted to leave that hanging over the pocket so he could then use it at a later date to try and kick those balls out. But to be fair, I still think Darrell would have probably tried to play a loss of turn. See, the thing with Stevie Dempsey, he's very clever at these tactical little games. A real all-rounder. You've got certain players, the big potters, and you've got ones that put a lot of thought into it. Stevie Dempsey, he can do it all.
Those yellows plant though, don't they? Darrell having none of it. Just. There's lots of red squeeze through the gap off the yellow to open it up.
I'm wondering if you could play the red into the side rail, clip the 8-ball, push that yellow into the pocket when the red goes sliding behind it.
That's what he's looking at, I think, Tony.
I'm not sure. I think he might be looking at your shot, the way he's...
If he plays that with pace, he's got a chance of opening everything up. If he gets the pot. No.
He's played none of them.
No, little loss of turn. It's clever.
Loss of turn.
Sorry.
Stevie Dempsey fools us all. Well, this is going to be a very slow roll. Try and get the cue ball wedged behind the yellow that's next to the red.
Lovely. Great touch.
Yeah, impressive shot there.
Tap on the table from Stevie too. Is there a path? I don't even think he needs to swerve it out.
We're not seeing an awful lot of this one. Oof. Tried to bend it into the rail and arc it back round, but it's going to be a foul. Ball in hand for Darrell Whitworth. You see it on the overhead. Well, he clipped the yellow first as well. So it was always going to be ball in hand. Darrell Whitworth playing a developing shot there now to open his yellows and the black ball up, but still leave Stevie Dempsey in a world of hurt.
Yeah, he can squeeze it past the 8, but loading up the side. Nope.
Ball in hand once again.
I wonder when he flicked that yellow earlier, if he just pushed it into a potable, you know, yeah, you can get through to the potting angle here. You'd wonder if he could. Great chance now then. He should be gone.
Wants to screw straight back towards his bridge hand. Nicely done. This is going to be Darrell Whitworth after a bit of a tactical battle, and he had the better of Stevie Dempsey, which was a surprise for me, but it will be Darrell Whitworth that gets his nose in front.
He played some really good shots in that frame though, didn't he, to wrestle the advantage back, because he didn't have it at one point, as you say, and yeah, played some very, very clever shots. Deserving winner of the frame.
Well, look at that arena. A sight to behold here in Bolton. Just a superb venue. So we always have there's about 87 matches going on, I think, at any one time. That is the Challenger Tour that you can see below us. Further over towards this scoring screens there, you've got pro matches there. Just beneath that screen on the right, that's Carl Sutton walking around a table. And that game is on our YouTube channel. He's out there playing Simon Fitzsimmons. If you go over there, you'll have Simon Webb over there, and Stephen Jameson, adding some expert analysis.
Darrell breaks in frame 4, looking to hold that advantage, and makes a ball. Makes a yellow. And squeezing its way into the top right corner pocket. Not the best of layouts. I don't know if this bottom left pocket is going to be a key here. He goes reds, but he's not. He's going yellows. So now it's just about these two on the side cushion. He's trying to go after them.
He had a go.
He's got another angle. Maybe just too much angle, do you think?
Yeah.
Possibly so.
Yeah, he can't get over from that one. Yeah, he put too much side on. Came a bit narrow, or wide, should I say.
I think the top one of the two doubles, which if he leaves the right angle, he could knock the other one out, and I think that's what he's gone to try and find. Hasn't got it. I think he's going to have to leave a double now, because he could attack it from this one to bottom left, but just you need too much power to break them open. He has. He's tried to. I didn't think there was that much value in that shot, Tony. Trusting too much to luck. Maybe the double wasn't ever there.
Yeah, you feel like his best opportunity of moving those balls out was his very first one. Yeah. Had to get it there and then. I don't think he can pop this off the red. So he's just developed them. But a player like Stevie Dempsey, this is a 70-30 chance in Stevie's favour for me.
Yeah.
You look at the reds, right, so the two at the bottom, they're gone, the two at the top are gone, now you've got the three in the middle. Well, it's just that ball on the rail, nearest the rail, that really looks the problem. And I'm sure Stevie Dempsey will solve that problem.
Yeah, probably looked to leave an angle here. That's what he did. He tried to leave an angle to come across.
Yeah, he's got a couple of options here as Stevie. Didn't have to get on it straight away. He can play off the yellow into the middle. I think that's what he's going to do. He just digs the cue ball down a little bit, plays off this very first yellow, and he can hold for the other red. Well, he'll have the choice of two reds, actually. He can go straight into the centre or go back up to the one over the back. So just got to contact the right part of the yellow with his red ball. So there you see, digging the cue ball down because he wants to just stop the cue ball dead. Red off this yellow. Played it lovely. Perfect. Now, will he play the one in the middle while he's on it, or does he want to go up to the top, come just before the other middle and play that other red into the centre? It gives him easier position onto the last two reds. Just make sure the cue ball comes far enough, and he has done. And that will be the frame. And that's what we said. Can't give a man like Stevie Dempsey those sort, it looked a bit of a tricky one, but that's just how good these top pros are.
Those eagle-eyed amongst you would have noticed, just watching on in the background there was Declan Brennan, Dylan Leary. Declan watching with interest. He's up next actually on this table, so he's just watching his good mate. Northern Ireland teammates, those, aren't they? Dylan and Deck.
They are indeed. Nicely done. Punches the ball over. And this black ball to be slotted into the right-hand middle. And in it goes. Dempsey draws level. And there they are. Declan Brennan on the right, Dylan Leary on the left. Two Northern Ireland internationals. And Declan Brennan, the man that is chasing down Tom Cousins for the #1 spot. Stevie Dempsey sits comfortably, quite happy with his work in that frame. Darrell enjoyed himself.
One of his mates in the crowd giving him something to laugh at by the looks of things. Hammer steals himself. Ready to break in frame number 5. Didn't quite time it. You saw the cue ball squirt off to the side cushion, even a little jump as well. There you go, airborne. But what a result. What a spread. He will love what he sees. Ooh. Wow.
Yellow ball's in play.
Raised the knuckle on the way past and caught it a little bit thick, and it's taken the pace out of the cue ball as well. This is now, if he hasn't got the gap here, this is way tougher than it needed to be. Not sure he has got the gap. If he hasn't got the gap, what does he have?
Extension. Extension.
Cut back to middle. That's precarious. I think he may just have to turn the cue ball over. It's going to be the cutback. Oh, he made that look easy. He made that look so easy. Literally just got down and dropped that in like it was over the pocket. That was a very tough cut back into a blind pocket. Still work to do though. Another cut back. It's another tough shot. And the clock's ticking. Not this time. Comes up short. It's all just because of that one poor shot where he's just caught it a little bit thick, taking the pace out of the cue ball, and it's cost him his place at the table. May cost him the frame. All three of these reds at the top of the table go, don't they? Pretty sure the one he's looking at now passes to the top left. May have to go cushion first off the back of the yellow, but they just pop directly. Yeah, you can see there. Oh, Darrell. I mean, he's still okay, but he didn't want to be hampered there. Navigated it well. Now back in prime position. Nothing much to do here, just stun the cue ball down. Just to the right of centre table. Across just to the left of centre table, but either way. equally effective.
Yeah, nicely done from Darrell Whitworth. Played that quite pacey,
Yeah.
but very accurately. As the black goes down, and Darrell Whitworth goes 3-2 in front. 25 minutes and a bit of change remaining on the match clock.
He's comfortable, doesn't he?
He does.
Don't sense any nerves. I said that earlier, he's a very experienced player. Been around for a long time.
Stevie, no alarm bells just yet, but a little bit of concern. Seen it all before. Somebody's obviously obstructed his vision for something. Referee.
Yeah.
Richard Rhodes.
Richard, half the man he used to be. He's he had a few kilos.
Yeah. Yeah. Very trim nowadays. Well, he made a ball off that break, but it is looking a bit messy.
Feel like he made a good contact at it. Just,
No.
I think he caught the second ball just a bit high, and just didn't get much of a split.
Yeah, agreed.
As often happens when you don't quite time the cut break, you end up with this big cluster on the left-hand side. But, you know, he's got first go at the table. He can establish himself on the colour and get himself an advantage in the frame. Probably just going to nudge this yellow out, you'd think. Nothing too extravagant here. Yeah. In doing so, just pushes the red onto the cushion as well, just making it slightly more awkward for Stevie.
Well, we've already seen one tactical battle in this match, and it was Darrell Whitworth that came out on top.
What a pot.
Well, great shot there from Darrell Whitworth.
I'm not sure how much advantage that gives him, but so it's another ball off the table. But went for the treble plant. Stevie, there were 7 balls left on the table, so this is where you should have an advantage now. You can start to maneuver his position on the table. Interesting. Assuming something hit a cushion there. Did it?
Yeah, just scraped it.
The yellow, I guess, brushed the cushion.
If I'm Darrell here now, I play that yellow that's on the rail and get the cue ball to go into the red and the yellow there and bring them both out.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any advantage to this because at some point, it might even be now, where Stevie Dempsey can play the loss of turn.
Yeah.
He should have kicked those two balls out and put Stevie on the ropes.
Yeah.
So go on then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shot. Yeah, he missed a trick there, did Darrell. He's trying to get the cue ball to come back here and knock the red in. It's okay doing that, and he had to, but it's an easy escape though for Stevie Dempsey. I think he can play off the red as nearest the middle bag. Can he get the cue ball behind the red and the black at the top? That's going to be short. That is short. He tried to get right behind the red, and okay, he's not left it easy, but I thought Stevie would have got the cue ball jammed behind the red there.
The clock now running down to 20 minutes. And just 5 frames played. Neither of these players are particularly slow. We could still see a result, but it does start to beg the question of,
Well, can Stevie cut the red into the right-hand centre? If he can, this frame should be over.
yeah,
Looks very tight. He's made it just enough. But he put all his eggs into that one basket to pot that ball. As long as that red goes past the other one down into the bottom left, he's fine. Else he's going to have to come upstairs and play a thin cut.
yeah, hampered too.
Well, that tells the story that it doesn't pass. Either that or he likes being hampered.
Not a good kiss.
No. He can play the outside red now that's next to the yellow. That's the one good thing. A bit of a tester at 3-2 down. Red wriggles in. Good position from Dempsey. So now, pot the red into the centre. Leave himself a nice cut with the other red down into the bottom left. And that will enable him to bring the cue ball over to the other side of the table for the red and the black at the top. So once you just bring the cue ball back about an inch. A little bit of right hand side on this one if you're being greedy. Come back the other side of the middle bags. And you see he's digging with the right hand side as well. Perfect.
Used every part of that pocket, didn't he?
That's it, because you're putting the side on as well, you can nip the near jaw, if you know what I mean.
Helps him in, yeah.
This is trickier than
Yeah,
a first thought, but it's just,
fiddly, isn't it?
yeah, just nip it with right hand side again. Hello.
Just okay.
Oh.
I think he's just okay,
Oh,
yeah.
it was close.
It was.
I think he was intending to hit into the yellow.
Another quarter roll and he's in trouble.
I think he's just catching his breath there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's on it. He's settling himself, having a word with himself.
I tell you
So
what,
easy.
he's having to bend it.
Ooh.
He wasn't on it, and look at that. That is unbelievable. After all the hard work had been done,
Well,
Stevie will be fuming.
how significant is that going to be as this match plays out? It could be huge. With 17 minutes left on the clock, a 2-frame advantage. Oh. That one kind of bobbled. Middle of the pocket, but it showed its face.
Yeah, well, this is a chance that Darrell wasn't expecting to have. He'd already resigned himself to the fact that the match was going level once again. But I bet he can't believe that he's getting this opportunity to go 4-2 up. I mean, how often would Dempsey do that? You know, when he's done all the hard work, it's finished. We're talking 1 in 100 there. Black goes down, and Whitworth now 2 in front of the Irishman, Stevie Dempsey.
Big moment in the match, that.
Yeah, if this match were to finish 8-6 to Darrell, you'd say that. As we come across Simon Fitzsimmons and Carl Sutton, this is on our YouTube channel. 2-2. The man from England, the solid international that he is, Carl Sutton, playing a little safety there. And the bouncer. Nothing particularly easy there for Simon. Anyway, we'll leave that there, and if you do want to go and watch that, like I said, it's on our YouTube channel. And you can go there and listen to Simon Webb and Stephen Jameson. We'll talk you through that one. Meanwhile, back on the main table, Dempsey to break off after pretty much throwing away the last frame.
Yellows look pretty good here. He's got this one at the bottom of the table surrounded by reds, but can plant something onto that. In fact, the yellow down the cushion probably goes in and moves it all anyway.
He could pot up that red at the top. I know he's looking to take yellows. He could have maybe gone straight into, pot the one over the bag and go into the 2 reds there, knock that yellow in and take reds. But obviously the other shot, now he's on yellows, is to play the yellow down the rail. If he can contact the thin edge of that red above the yellow, the second yellow will double kiss the one that's over the bag, possibly, and make the pot. These are the times when you just got to steady yourself. You know, in the back of your mind, you're a little bit angry from the last frame. Don't go and do anything too bullish to try and snatch a frame back too quickly, if you like. That can happen. It's like going on tilt. Got to play it now.
Yeah, had to come across and play it. Well, he's still got 2 recovery balls on the table. If it
he could actually play it. He might even just play it straight into the yellow and the cannon, but the danger is that second yellow, the yellow that's over the bag, goes then behind the other red that's loose on the bottom cushion.
Yeah, key to the frame, this one. Beautiful. Oh,
how's your form?
That's so unlucky. That's, He's still potted to top left. He's forced to, isn't he?
No, I think he's got to play the ball into the middle, roll it in, get the cue ball onto the bottom rail and play the double. You've only got to make that double, because it doesn't matter where the cue ball is, because the ball's over the bag next to the black. So run this in, leave yourself a double into the middle. So you look at this, in Stevie's mind now, he knows this is the black ball effectively. This is to win the frame because he's not going to miss the last two.
It's a missable double.
They're all missable doubles. But he won't be very far away if he is going to miss it. I think he gets it. There you go. Told you.
Had to punch it, didn't you? Just
Never
straighten
leave
out
an
the touch.
Irishman a double. That is quality finish from Stevie Dempsey, just when he really needed it as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Awesome stuff. Dempsey pulls one back. Whitworth still leads 4 frames to 3. And we come over to our live stream on table, I think this is table 2.
Number 2, yeah.
Yep. And the ladies now will take centre stage. I think now, from now on, the ladies will have their own tables now as well, which is good.
Yeah, there's some really good games coming out from this table.
That's
Kirsty Davis in action, Marion Dew, this Colette Hedrickson.
well, Leanne here's taking on that looks like Geraldine Champanet from France, who's come to join her compatriot Marion Jude, playing on the Ultimate Pool Tour, the French international. Their matches, I believe, are a race of 7. As you can see, that's only just started. There's going to be some great matches through the entire weekend with the Women's Pro. Like I say, you can just go onto the Ultimate Pool TV app and select table 2 there, and you can watch that.
Better contact and makes a ball. Still a little bit clustered, but again he gets first look at the table. Looks like he's got openers on both. Unsurprisingly, choosing reds. Coming right down table to deal with his problem at the bottom of the table straight away. I think that's plum. If he can just screw back and then take the other red, then all of these are there. Ooh, just got away from him. So much spin on that ball. Just still on it. Just dead straight here, I think. Maybe just be able to force a slight angle. Yeah, he could. So both these reds probably going to go in the same pocket. Just needs to be careful because obviously he needs to finish low. He needs to angle to get back up table.
Yeah, it's perfect. You can get the cue ball up now. You can either screw straight up if he wants to dig deep enough, or just pull the cue ball past the middle bag on the right hand cushion and just come across to the bottom like so.
That's a really classy clearance. I mean, I know they were all there, but he needed that cue ball on a string, and he's never been more than an inch out of position through his entire clearance. Big frame, big performance. This is from Darrell Whitworth. As I said at the top of the game, very dangerous player. Not one you want to see in your half of the draw. I mean, there's no easy draws, let's be honest, but Darrell might ask the question of Stevie today, and he certainly is. alarm bells will be just tinkling a little bit. He's come back from
Yeah, he looks.
bigger deficits.
That's an icy cold stare there at the moment from Stevie. I know that face. I know that feeling as well.
Yeah.
You know, you can just see it inside. You know, he's pure determination now.
Not done too much wrong. Just obviously that mistake in the previous frame when he missed that ball.
Yeah.
And then early in the match when he just ran out of position slightly. But apart from that, he's looked pretty solid.
Yeah, Stevie Dempsey, though, I have to say, a true warrior of the game. And just look at that break. Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a smash.
This will be gratefully accepted. Pick.
Yeah, both. There's a case of both. Yellows is the easiest starter. It's the outside yellow. But then I think that goes through the gap of the red and the black, actually, which it does. Yeah. So not even that's a problem. We just heard the bell. So we are now down to 15 seconds of shot as we go into the last 10 minutes of this match. And this man, well renowned for managing the clock, especially when it gets a bit tight. He doesn't mind it at all.
Just a bit betwixt and between there.
It's gone a bit too far.
Yeah.
He wanted to leave that straight in the corner, but
Yeah.
he's still got clear view of the pot, which you'd expect him to knock in, but then under the whip. Cue ball's heavy.
Oh.
The cue ball is heavy. Can he cut it in?
This is skinny.
This is skinnier than Brian Halcrow. Malnutritioned.
Cue ball's going to be running.
Oh,
Cue ball is going to be running, and he's absolutely fine.
he's done it. What a finish there from Stevie Dempsey. Amazing cut. I thought he'd just gone an inch too far there. That's incredible. Wow.
That was a big, big shot, and that's the pressure firmly back on Darrell Whitworth's shoulders. Yeah, another eighth of an inch of a turn from the cue ball, and he wouldn't have been able to cut that 8 ball back.
No, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Leading 5 frames to 4.
Best one he's timed yet. And what a result.
Extension call.
Pressure was really on for that break,
Big time.
but look at this leave. Oh, Darrell. He snatched the first ball. Wow-wee, what a chance. He'll be fuming. If he makes that, the Reds are pretty much drop-ins.
Red balls in.
So, little developing shot coming. Just needs to to make sure he glances it inside, outside. Either way, doesn't really matter. Doesn't want a full ball contact. What's he on? What is he on? He's not on anything. He's on a double. A tough double too. There's nothing else. He's got the thin red. Cutting it back. Tricky cue ball to control.
He's overcut it.
Yeah. Oh,
Look at the cue ball. Wow.
Stevie.
Well, Darrell Whitworth's got to feel a little bit aggrieved to be sat there. Straight across the table.
Yeah, there is a gap there if he can find it.
Needs to pot it. And he has done. Out of the snooker and out of the shadows. And he's going to get to within 2 frames of putting out Stevie Dempsey. He might not even need to as the clock ticks down.
Yeah, time management could be a thing here as well. Just wants to burn a minute off the clock. This could be really important as the match goes on. You know, he's left 7 seconds out there, and I know he's not thinking about that, and he shouldn't be overcomplicating it. He just wants to make the clearance, but you know, he could have burned another probably 40 seconds off the clock. Will that be significant? Darrell Whitworth, having snatched the opening ball, gets another bite of the cherry. And puts it away.
Yeah, incredible stuff.
3 each with the Simon Fitzsimmons Carl Sutton game. Carl Sutton, you can see at the table on a clearance. Looks like he's going to 4-3 up. Oh, Stevie, that is an absolute disaster. Couldn't have caught that any worse. Screwed it straight into the middle pocket.
Well, well, well. Stevie Dempsey, no. The look of disgust on his face.
Yeah, no excuse for that.
And just look at the split he had as well. Unbelievable. Darrell Whitworth must be absolutely bubbling inside now. I mean, we're going to be less than 5 minutes left, and he's going to have a 3-frame lead. He's going to be 1 frame away from ousting Stevie Dempsey. Will be an upset.
Just needs to get high enough. Doesn't want to finish low on the last red. Now he has finished low, so he's going to use, well, he elects to play the 8 in the middle. It's a little bit fiddly though. I'd imagine he'd come on and off the top cushion. The 8 in the top left, but personal choice. It's like, oh, this could have been a bit easier, couldn't it? Darrell Whitworth.
Well, what a black there. Well, 1 frame away, Darrell Whitworth. Not happening for Stevie Dempsey today. Not thus far. It's going to take some sort of minor miracle to come back from this.
Another super break.
Oh,
No thoughts whatsoever about burning this clock down. Why would you? I do love that. I mean, sometimes there is a place for it, but even in that last frame, he didn't. Just doesn't feel that he needs to. He'd rather play at his own natural pace.
well, he's home and hosed now, really, even if he doesn't get the finish with 3 minutes and a little bit on the clock. Darrell Whitworth is pretty much assured to be into the next round, and this will be an upset. There's no question.
He's looking at the double. If he gets the double, then everything's there. Gets it. Just come a little far.
I think he can get through to the red into the centre.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it'd just come a trace too far, but actually I think it's perfect. What a performance this has been, Tony.
Incredible. New pro,
Yeah,
debut season.
I mean,
It's not great where he's landed there, but it doesn't matter. He's done enough.
yeah.
He's 3 ahead. There's not enough time on the clock for Stevie Dempsey to make any headway.
I think
Oh,
we said it earlier.
he's going to get over the line anyway now.
He just looks at home in this arena.
Yeah.
There's no nerves there whatsoever. What a confident performance. Just looks totally settled. You know, this is an environment that could intimidate lesser players, but
Well, this black for the match and our first big upset this weekend. And in it goes, and Darrell Whitworth defeats the hammer, Stevie Dempsey. 8 frames to 4, and our new professional has got to be absolutely delighted with that.